Okay, hi, my name is Jessica Potter. Today I will be doing my persuasive speech, and it's all about recycling. And people always tell us that we need to recycle, but they never tell us why we need to recycle and what the benefits and consequences are of recycling and not recycling. So today I'm going to be telling you why it's important to recycle and to stop using plastics overall, and how that will lead to a healthier ocean and a better life. So, today I'm going to be talking about why it's important to recycle. And recycling is important because recycling paper and wood saves trees and forests, which helps us breathe better and ultimately helps save all of that. And recycling plastic means creating less new plastic, and plastic is just a terrible thing, and we'll kind of get into that a little more as we go through. Um, it also helps protect ecosystems and wildlife. Less plastic waste will lead to less animals being killed due to plastic. And according to Business Insider, by 2050, the ocean will have more plastic in it than fish, which says a lot. The Earth is 75% water. So, for there to be more plastic in it than fish, just says that there's more plastic than we have fish, which is just awful. And currently, the ocean is already filled with about 165 million tons of plastic, which, as you can imagine, is just way too much and is absolutely awful. And so we need to basically fix that. So, a way that we can fix that and help that is to stop using plastics overall. Um, as you can see in this picture here, there's obviously a coastline of a beach, and you can just see all of the plastic all over the beach that is completely avoidable. You can see there's a plastic fork there, there's plastic cartons, plastic bottles, all of this that is completely avoidable, that we can just get out of it immediately and to stop using it completely so that you don't have to worry about recycling, and make sure that you're recycling correctly to just avoid this happening at all. So here you can see a seabird filled with plastic, and then you can see a turtle with getting a plastic straw pulled out of its nose, um, which is awful. Obviously, that bird died from plastic intake, um, which is just awful because there's no need for that. There's no reason for that to happen. Um, so here it says that plastic has been found in more than 60% of all seabirds and 100% of sea turtle species that mistake plastic for food. And when animals ingest plastic, it can cause life-threatening problems, including reduced fitness, nutrient uptake, and feeding efficiency, all vital for survival. So a good example is I went to Gumbo Limbo the other day, actually, to look at all the turtles, and the amount of turtles that they had there in what they call their ICU. Um, a lot of them were for plastic intake, because what happens is these turtles mistake jellyfish or they mistake plastic bags for jellyfish, and all these little microplastics that are plastics that you basically can't even see. And these sea turtles eat them thinking it's food because they can't tell the difference, and then they get full off of plastics, which have obviously no nutrients, nothing good for them. So it leads them to become, obviously, they are dying off of that because they're becoming lethargic, um, and they can't eat, they can't sleep, they can't do anything properly, all because they're full off of plastic, which is nothing good for them. So they basically all die from that. So a great way to help that is reusable water bottles and reusable utensils. A great example is a hydro flask. I have one here. I've had it for way over a year. Um, it's one of the best things, I think, in my opinion, because having a reusable water bottle, one, it's just really good for you to have water all the time, but it stops you from using plastic water bottles, which are extremely unnecessary. People will drink 5 water bottles in a day when you could just get one reusable water bottle and save all that plastic. And another thing is reusable utensils. A lot of times when you go to restaurants, they have, plastic forks and plastic knives. And this is one way to easily just skip all of that without having to worry about disposing of it properly and recycling it properly. Is just to have a reusable utensil set with you all the time. It's a great thing, and it comes in handy more than you would think. for sure. And a great huge thing is this brand called Pathwater. And they are amazing because basically what it is it's an aluminum water bottle. So it's not made out of plastic. And what it is it's basically a water bottle, but minus all the plastic. So it's great because it's cheap and it's refillable, and they're putting refill stations all around, so that you can basically buy this one time for like $3 and then refill it everywhere you go. So it's a great way to go about all of this. And that basically leads to a healthier ocean for us. Um, Less plastic obviously leads to less animals dying, which is obviously super important. We need all these animals, and without them, it basically messes up the whole food chain and messes everything up for them and for us. And another thing is it brings coral reefs back to life. Here you can see a before and after of a coral reef. You can clearly see the differences, and a lot of people may think, oh, but how does this affect me? Like, this has no impact on me. But it does. There are fish that feed off of the coral reef and live off the coral reef, and then without that, those fish die, and it just goes on to mess up that food chain. Um, so it's extremely important and needed for us to live. Um, so that was my speech today, talking about why it's important to recycle, why we need to stop using plastics, and how that will lead to a healthier ocean for us. And